Hi, I'm Kelly Quinn. I am a community artist and I'm looking forward to working with Project Insight Community Day School on creating a mandala. I have been doing community art for 14 years now. The most exciting element about doing what I do is working with diverse groups of people that normally don't have art experiences and getting them to come together. Hi, I'm Kelly Quinn. I am a community artist and I'm looking forward to working with Project Insight Community Day School on creating a mandala. I have been doing community art for 14 years now. The most exciting element about doing what I do is working with diverse groups of people that normally don't have art experiences and getting them to come together and create both individually and as a group. And some of the most exciting things that happen really sometimes can't even be explained. They're an experience. It's not so much the finished piece, but the idea of what can happen when you create together. I'm looking forward to sharing my knowledge of mandalas and the history of making them, where they're from, and how they're used, and seeing what these talented students can do. And the great thing is this piece will be on a very public corner in our town on a building, and it will let not only the students and their families, but the whole community know what kind of talent we have here in our area.
There's somebody else that goes on. They're all over there. We will have let the tiles out. We will have 3 mandala boards going. Great. And I'm going to run home and get all my numbers. Thank you. So I'm going to run so I'm back before the. See ya. All right. Kelly came in and the students were very excited about creating a mandala. She brought her own pieces first, so they got an idea of what the tile looked like on the board, and then some with grout and some without grout. And they got very excited about it, started making the designs, the drawings, had a little bit of a hurdle when it was actually time for them to put their own pieces onto a board and get the idea that the negative space is what the grout would fill in. But I think they really enjoyed doing it, had a good time doing it, and they've come up with some really beautiful pieces.
Okay, the very first thing that Mrs. Gwen did was first she showed us the picture that she wanted, the diagram of the mosaic, and then we went and busted plates and glass, and then we picked out certain little shapes that had to fit evenly, like kind of like a jigsaw puzzle all together in the mosaic. And we glued them all down after Miss Gwen said that everything was okay. And then we're going to grout it, and then we're going to put it on our school building.
I've noticed that on Tuesdays and Thursdays when we've had the mandala project going on here, it's more of a calm, a lot more relaxing. We don't have as many discipline problems. Everybody's working more, and again together, kind of like teamwork. And so there's a lot more smiles. And we've been working on this for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think this might be the 4th week. So in good time, we've gotten a big project done, and it's going to be nice when it's finished with the grout.
Well, I'm trying to set an example, show the students what needs to be done. I think that they got another understanding of a different form of art. They also learned about drawing the circles and coming up with a symmetrical design. And I know Kelly went into some detail about what the background of a mandala and the whole idea of the meditation and the calming effect. They also learned about colors, what colors go together, what looks good together. They worked with tools. I brought in 4 of my own tile nippers, for wheeled tile nippers, and sometimes they would just take it and bang it on something. And there was some learning about how to treat tools and what tools to use for what job and some safety using goggles. So I think there was a lot of learning going on as well as a very good experience overall.
We had this triangle thing, and we had a pencil right there, and we made circles, and then we made lines like that. And then it was just like drawing what we want to, like our own image of it. And then it came to where we had to color it, and then we'd wait, and then that's when we started breaking the glass, and then we'd put it down on that concrete type deal, and we draw it on there, and then we just start putting glass on there, and then we put the glass on there, and then we're working on the big one now.
When Miss Quinn brought in the idea and let the kids know that they could do a 12 by 12 piece of their own and they can design it themselves, I think what excited them the most was it was going to be something that they had done themselves and not kind of a pre-drawn picture that they could design, you know, with the mosaic pieces. So when they started doing the drawings and trying to get, you know, their own little unique ideas in it, that's when they started getting excited. And then when they found out that they were going to be voted on to see which three were going to be combined to the centerpiece, they were even more excited.
The kids generally are not asked to endeavor in a cooperative project, and this is entirely cooperative, and they've done a really good job, especially since they are mostly from pretty far-flung places. They are not all living in this community. I mean, there's a handful of them from Schuyler County, a handful of them from Hancock County, and from all over, and so it's nice to see them come together and work in a cooperative fashion on this. I think it's great.
Anytime we change the structure of the day, I'm always a little hesitant and apprehensive because you just never know with this population of kids how they're going to respond. Although they have really, the majority of the kids have done a great job. And for those kids that this may not have been something they were interested in, we had other things for them to do. They could stay in their classroom, they could get caught up on work. That's wonderful. So we kind of tried to work it so it met everybody's needs. And the kids, even though it was a break in their norm from what they normally did, they liked the project, they enjoyed working, and it also gave them an opportunity to listen to music during the school day, which normally we don't do, and they liked it. And they've proven with their behavior that even when things are unstructured, that the majority of the time they could still do a really good job. And that's wonderful to see and to hear.
The kids here are all they like hands-on things. So what I see is, and they're also very artistic, and I think that that's why this program is rather successful, is because we kind of work to their strengths. This is a great project because it ties up the whole year, and it's going to be a great accomplishment. And as before, the kids really buy into the project and are very invested. And as they start from the beginning, they don't recognize what's happening. And some do, but most of them don't. And then as it starts being pulled together and the pieces are glued and their designs are are finished, and then the grouting is about the most wonderful thing, because then as it's being cleaned, you see the final product.
I've been here 14 years, and I've seen a lot of projects that come into, you know, from WIU. They come in with ideas, and I think this was one of the best projects. Not only we got to display them on the front and side of the buildings, but it was also a great group project for the kids to work together and learn to work closely side by side with each other. And that's something that they kind of have problems with.